Hey guys, Tommy Bryson here, and for this video, I want to be, disclaimer by the way, I want to be 100% non-biased. Although, I do have very good apps that I use the most when it comes to investing, I will try to preserve my non-bias on which app I use and which apps I don't use. So in this video right here, I'm going to tell you guys the 3 best investment apps you can probably use to start investing into stocks with literally $1 or literally even $10,000 or $1,000,000. It doesn't matter, but the point is you can start investing with whatever money you have right now. By the way, when I first started, I started with around $7.60 back in December of 2018. But before that, I started also back in when I was 19 years old with E-Trade. But back then, we paid for trades. But no longer do we have to do that. And by the way, guys, I will be making more videos on, for example, where I invest, why I invest there. So if you guys want to keep up with that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notified, because I also do upload videos every single day. And also smash the like button, and that way I'll make more videos like this one also. Now guys, the very first thing is this, okay guys, when it comes to my money and what company I trust my money with, the answer is always, I don't care about loyalty that my grandmother used it when she was like 10 years old. The answer is always, I care about the company that lets me keep the most money, has no fees, and has the best service. That's all I really care about. So for this video, don't think I'm gonna tell you like, well, I use this app because basically my grandmother used it and her grandmother used it before that. As long as the company is FDIC insured or SPIC insured, everything is insured. The point is, I don't care. I care about my money and how much money I get to keep. On top of that, nothing else matters, okay? And now guys, the very first app that I use is actually called Acorns. It's an app that lets you invest with $5, and on top of that, every single time you have, for example, your debit card, which I will cover up here, but if you have a debit card, every time you use that debit card, you can choose to round up to the next dollar, and whatever you have left, you can go ahead and invest it once it hits $5. The idea is you get to invest money without having a ton of money, and that's why when I started using Acorn in December of 2018, I started with around $7.60. However, like a year later, or a year and 3 months later, like in March now, I have around $20,000 invested into Acorn, and I like the app, you know. It's very simple, and my entire deal is I want to invest over time and grow my money over time. Now, disclaimer here, guys, okay? The idea of Acorns is only really for people that want to invest over a long period of time, and for me, that is 20 to 40 to even 50 years, okay? That's what Acorns is. So if you want to buy stocks right then and there, do whatever you want, whenever you want to, Acorns is not the app for you. But if you want to invest a small amount of money over a long period of time and then have it grow when you're like, 40 or 50 or 60, then Acorns is the app for you, because again, it carries very minimal risk. Now, some of the pros and the cons, because again, I want to be non-biased, although I use Acorns by far the most when it comes to investing. I use it every single month to invest 5% of my income, okay? Now, the first pro is this, guys. The app only costs $1, but it's also a con, and here's why. Because again, it does cost $1, and other apps out there don't cost you any money whatsoever. But tell me, I don't want to pay any money. Well, the answer is this, okay, guys? I do not like fees, probably just like you, but as long as I get, my money's worth for that fee, I'm good to go. And that's why with Acorn, you get a very great customer service team, a very great responsive app, and whenever you have any trouble, you can literally get your Nokia ready and call in. By the way, okay, relax, okay? I have an iPhone too, and I also have an Android, okay? But whenever I feel very distracted, I use a Nokia. And this way, I don't get distracted by social media, because social media is very distracting, okay? But whenever I have a problem, I can use my Nokia to call Acorns and be like, hey, I'm having a problem. Can you guys fix it? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. But with a lot of apps today, you can't really call in, and that kind of sucks, because I love talking to people and finding out directly from the horse's mouth exactly what is going on, okay? And now, guys, the second pro about Acorns is probably also a con for you, okay? And the pro is this, okay, guys? With Acorns, they let you invest into a pre-made portfolio made out of 7 ETFs that's also based on your risk tolerance. Tell me, what the heck is is this in English? The answer is they already picked the investments for you, and all you have to do is invest money into it, and that way you're good to go. Now, that portfolio, those investments have a track record of over a century to actually generate income and also generate profits. That's the entire point here. However, some people might say like, hey, Tommy, this is a con, because in reality, I want to invest my own money into whatever I want, okay? That's what I want to do. And that's why some people say like, hey, I'm going to invest into Nokia because the company is going to make a comeback and then they lose all their money, okay? Or I want to invest into Apple and then Apple loses money. They're like, oh my gosh, what happened here? The answer is, well, you want to invest into things that have a track record and not things that are just like, hey, I like Nokia or Apple. You know, if you're not going to do the research, then I don't recommend Acorns, because again, Acorns is for long-term portfolios that show that, hey, this is going to work out because history shows it, and everything is proven by history and time, okay? Now, the last pro and con for Acorns is basically that although you can invest with $5, which is awesome, you can't really capitalize off a price of a stock whenever you're buying it right then and there. Tommy, what is that, you know? The answer is, well, say for example, you know, Apple right here made the AirPod, and you know for a fact that the company is gonna rise in value, you know, the AirPod 3 or whatever, right? And you're like, okay, I wanna buy Apple right now because tomorrow when they announce it, the price is gonna go up like crazy. Well, the idea is that, well, on top of that, you can't really invest into Apple with Acorns. You're actually buying an ETF that contains Apple. However, if you want to invest into an ETF and get that price right then and there of that ETF price, you can't, because it takes like 1 to 2 days to execute the order. However, that's the point. You know, if you want to do long-term investing, well, history shows that it doesn't matter when you buy it, okay? Because in reality, over time, it just averages out to the same price. Now, you're probably thinking, Tommy, then why use Acorns? The answer is, it's because it's an app for me that I invest consistently over time, and I won't really look at it until I turn like 40 or 60 years old, and that's 20 to 40 years from now. That's the idea here, okay? So if you want to invest long-term with $5 whenever you want to invest, and by the way, I invest around $500 every single month, and then by the time I turn 60 years old, I have over like $2 million, okay, which is awesome if you ask me, and that's why I invest with them. Now, you're probably wondering, but tell me, what if I want the best of every platform and I don't have a lot of money, but in reality, I just don't really want to pick ETFs, because again, I also want to pick Apple or Chipotle or Disney or any company out there, or even Nokia if I want to. Well, I have a second app for you. And this app is called the Cash App, you know? And the Cash App has been known to be like a competitor to Venmo, but in reality, the Cash App has revamped also into an investment app and also a Bitcoin investing app. Also, by the way, I'm not a Bitcoin user, but if you want to do that, well, the Cash App is pretty cool also. Now, the idea is this, okay, guys? When it comes to the Cash App, the main pro is you can invest with literally $1 into any stock you want to invest into, and on top of that, you get to invest right then and there and buy at that current price. So, for example, guys, say Apple is out by 10%, but you know tomorrow it'll go up again because, hey, the AirPod 3 is coming out. Well, the answer is you can buy right then and there with $5 or $10 or $1, and that way you're good to go, and you get to buy at that price and make that profit without having to wait for anything to happen. Now, on top of that, there are no fees whatsoever to trade an investment or to do whatever you want whenever you want. And that's the awesome thing about it. Although you cannot go in and be like, oh, I'm a day trader on this platform, the answer is no. But however, you can buy an investment at a price you actually want to with partial shares, even if you don't have a lot of money. And that is the best thing about this platform right here. Well, Tommy, if they offer so much investments and everything is so good on the platform, why don't you use it over Acorns? The answer is, well, I don't mind paying $1 as long as I get very good and pristine customer service. However, with the Cash App, although I never had a real problem, I've noticed that one, they don't have a phone line, so it's all by email, and sometimes people actually run into trouble because sometimes accounts get hacked, believe it or not, and if they do get hacked, well, you have to touch someone on email, and that might take some time to actually work out, okay? I do believe they'll work out, but the answer is I'd rather talk to someone right then and there and confirm all information instead of having to wait by email. And I think that's very like a lacking in their part, because again, you're dealing with investments, and I would like to call someone every now and then if anything goes tragically wrong. On top of that, although they do offer stocks and ETFs and other investments, they don't really offer all the stocks and ETFs out there, and that's why I don't really like it that much. And here's why, okay? I also wanted to basically make a carbon copy of my Acorns portfolio into these apps, and that way I can do whatever I want whenever I want to do it. But in reality, with the Cash App, I can't really find this investment, and the ticker symbol is actually called VB. And some other investments on the Cash App, they're just like not there. They don't have an offer it right now. So the idea is I still stick to Acorn because Acorn has great customer service, and on top of that, they have all the investments I want to invest into. So for example, guys, when I invested with the Cash App last week, I did it because I wanted to basically buy an investment at a price right then and there, even though I wanted to invest a certain amount of money and not worry about like per share or whatever, right? So right here, as you can see, guys, I actually invested some money and I'm up like around $111 right now. So the answer is I like the Cash App. What I don't like is the customer service, and I don't like the idea of basically you don't have all the investments out there available, but they do have a ton of them, okay? To be honest with you, they have a ton of them. They have like Apple, Disney, a whole bunch of different ones. So in reality, they have a lot of options, but the idea is if you're gonna have options, well, try to get all the options out there. And that's what lacks, and that's why they're my second favorites, but not my first favorite, okay? Now, number 3 is by far my favorite trading platform out there. Tommy, you sound kind of ridiculous, okay? First you said Acorns your favorite, and then, you know, the Cash is pretty good, but now you're saying that also Robinhood is your favorite? Well, the answer is no. You know, the answer is that, you know, Robinhood is different from these platforms because, again, Robinhood is more for trading, like you buy right now, sell right now, you can do whatever you want whenever you want, but the other platforms are like, you know what, you can invest money, and it's kind of like partial shares, and it's a little bit more like I can trade like 10 times a day if I want to on Robinhood, but not on Acorns and also the Cash App, and that's the big deal here, okay? So basically, the Robinhood app, I only use it whenever I want to make an investment very quickly and I don't have any money deposited into any other app out there. So for example, guys, okay, last week when I wanted to invest money, I had to use a Robinhood app, and here's why. Because basically the Cash App didn't offer all the investments, so I couldn't invest with them, and Acorns would take too long to make the investments, so I had only one option, and that option was actually Robinhood. Now here's what happened, guys, okay? When I went onto Robinhood, if you sign up for something called the Gold membership, is a trial, you can do it for 30 days. If you sign up, well, if you invest like $5,000, you have to deposit the money, you have to wait for like 1 day or 2 days. But with this entire like Gold membership, they'll let you invest that money right away and have access to it right away without having to wait. So basically, right now, by investing in 1 week, I'm up around like 10% almost on Robinhood, and that's around the equivalent of around $400 or so. So it's pretty cool if you ask me right then and there. And basically with the app, I got to invest into everything I wanted to. But the main con about the Robinhood app is honestly this one thing that kind of ticks me off all the time, and it's that, you know, although the company is growing, it's awesome. You can buy whatever you want, whenever you want. I don't like that they don't have partial shares. So if you have like not a lot of money and you want to invest, you can't really do it that much, okay? And however, they promise a lot of features. For example, they promise partial shares. You can invest with $5 if you want to. They also promise like a whole bunch of different savings accounts. But the idea is that although I love the company, they just take so long to make their products come into fruition that it just gets me mad and bored. And I kind of be like, okay, I'm going to just go somewhere else and do my business. So I only use Robinhood when I need to. The Acorns app I use the most, and basically the Cash App I use it whenever I want to invest partially into an investment very quickly that basically I can't get anywhere else, okay? Now, in totality, I have around almost $30,000 invested because on top of that, I have a bonus app that you probably don't know about, and here they are. If you made it in the video, then here you go. Now, the bonus app is actually called the SoFi app, okay? Now, SoFi is basically my main investment app when it comes to my debit card investments. And on top of that, also my savings accounts, okay? I put a lot of money in savings there also sometimes whenever I want to do something crazy, okay? Now, here is my SoFi account, okay? Now, the good thing about SoFi is that when you sign up, if you have money in the account, you can invest right then and there immediately with the money you have in their account based on your debit card, okay? So the answer is, guys, when I invested last week, I invested around $2,600, and now I'm up around like almost $200 or so, and that's the good thing about it, okay? So when it comes to SoFi, the good thing is you can invest partially if you want to, or for example, you can invest into individual shares and buy right then and there if you want to also. So in reality, SoFi is kind of like the everything put together. So it's not like it's a bonus, so I don't really use it, but it's kind of like it's a bonus and it's one of the best also. So everything I'm recommending here is probably like the best apps out there right now. Now, Lastly, as a bonus, I also have to mention Webull. Although I haven't done a full review, every single other YouTuber recommends it, and I know they get paid a lot of money by doing it, but I won't recommend it all the way. But comment down below, guys, if you guys actually want me to make a full Webull review. Comment down below, let me know, and I'll get to work ASAP. But guys, that's basically it. Comment down below and let me know which one of these platforms will you use, and the answer should be, Tommy, I'm gonna get every single one of them. And by the way, I also have links down below. If you want to sign up, you also get like free money. For example, Robinhood, you get a stock. When you have for cash, you get $5. Acorns, $5. And if you want to do SoFi, you get around like $50 right then and there. So any app you want to use, you also get free money to invest if you want to. But the idea is I would use all of them, and here's why. Because sometimes Acorns is too slow, okay? But they have a really good platform, which is awesome. Sometimes the Cash App doesn't have what you want, which is like sucks, but they have a good platform. And sometimes Robinhood, although it's great, you can't invest all the money you want to because again, it's just full-on shares and not partial shares. And SoFi is awesome, but it might not mean your main bank, and that means that you might not have all the money you need right then and there to invest right then and there. Now, that's what I do. I invest into all of them, and that way I'm good to go and I have everything I want. But guys, comment down below and let me know which one is your favorite. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video right here, well, like the video, and that way I know you liked it. And also click the subscribe button and also the notification bell, and you get notified every time I post a new video, which again is every single day. And if you want to talk to me, well, follow me on Instagram, Tommy Bryson. And before I go, if you want to watch a full video on how much money I've made so far by investing into Acorns, here it is right here. And also my face right here to also start to run around. And see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.